Well, over the weekend, the media reported a tragic case of a pregnant Georgia woman in the US who was brain dead but was kept on life support to give birth. But the media screamed that it showed how bad abortion bans are. As expected, the media was pushing a false narrative. We do a fact check. So, as I said, there was a sad story which was in the media a month ago originally, including the New Zealand Herald. A 30-year-old pregnant Georgia woman in the southeastern United States has been kept on life support for 3 months, despite being declared brain dead due to the state's abortion restrictions, the woman's mother says. April Newkirk said the decision to keep her daughter, Adriana, alive was made without input from her family. This decision should have been left to us, she told NBC broadcaster. Newkirk said that her daughter, a registered nurse, was suffering serious headaches in February when she was 9 weeks pregnant. She was taken to hospital where she worked. Doctors found multiple blood clots in her brain and she was declared brain dead. Georgia law bans all abortion treatments after 6 weeks of pregnancy, one of the so-called heartbeat laws, referring to the approximate first detection of a fetal heartbeat. As Smith was 9 weeks along, Adriana, doctors were hesitant to do anything that could contravene the law, according to the mother, Newkirk. Adriana has been kept on life support ever since and is now 21 weeks into her pregnancy. The mother said, "I'm not saying that we would have chosen to terminate her pregnancy. What I'm saying is we should have had a choice." Adriana already has a son, has been kept on a ventilator to bring the fetus to term, though the mother said doctors are not sure the pregnancy will be viable or without health complications. So the media are pushing this narrative. A woman is being kept alive due to the abortion ban. Now think of the underlying message here firstly. A tragic story of a woman who is brain dead, but she's pregnant. And so they are keeping her alive so the baby can survive. But the narrative is that because it's around the issue of abortion and because Trump is bad orange man and wants to dictate what women can and can't do, actually a narrative that was ignored in the recent election because Trump still beat the sickening pro-abortion candidate Kamala Harris. But the media is saying, therefore, we should kill the unborn child because the mother is brain dead. So let's see 2 people tragically die. That seems to be the message. The mother says we should have had a choice. But Adriana knew she was pregnant. 9 weeks. She had already chosen not to abort. What do we think her wishes would have been? But of course, the question is never asked or answered. No, this is a tragic story taken up by the media. Abortion ban, we should have the right to kill the unborn child. Trump abortion, bad man. Just what the media ordered. But here's the fact check, and I actually posted this on One News and News Talk ZB's Facebook pages a month ago when they were parroting the same narrative on their website. And I'm grateful to Lila Rose's live action analysis, which covered this at the time. It said, and let me read it to you when I find it. It said, Smith was tragically declared brain dead. She was moved to Emory University Hospital Midtown, where she had been on a ventilator for more than 90 days as doctors worked to ensure her babies reach an age when she has a stronger chance of survival before he is delivered and Smith's life support is removed. According to media reports, the goal is to keep Smith on life support until her son reaches 32 weeks gestation, for another 11 weeks in other words. As one commentator noticed on Facebook post by Secular Pro-Life regarding the case, Smith knew she was pregnant and chose not to abort. So why would even those who are pro-choice be fighting so hard to go against the mother's choice to give birth if possible? And apparently in Georgia, removing a pregnant woman from life support does not constitute an abortion as defined by the Georgia Life Act, which is what the media are currently blaming. And secondly, due to a law passed in 2007, removing a pregnant woman from life support is not legal in Georgia unless her preborn baby isn't viable. And she has said in advance that she wants an abortion. Now, it appears Adriana didn't. She wanted the child. But this was the media coverage of obviously a grieving mother.
And I see my daughter breathing by the ventilator, but she's not there. And I'm touching her. And she has a son who I bring to see her.
Now, 21 weeks pregnant, her baby's health uncertain.
She's pregnant with my grandson, but my grandson may be blind, may not be able to walk, wheelchair bound. We don't know if he'll live once she has him. It should have been left up to the family. I'm not saying that we would have chose to terminate her pregnancy. What I'm saying is we should have had a choice. We should have had a choice.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear the grief in her voice and her message, isn't it? She says, it's torture for me. I come here and I see my daughter breathing on a ventilator, but she's not there. And then she says, I'm not saying we would have chosen to terminate her pregnancy, but what I'm saying is we should have had a choice. So despite the media suggestion, it's not a slam dunk by the family that they want an abortion. The saga, of course, provoked a strong reaction by rabid pro-abortion Democrats and abortion rights organisations. A Democratic politician based in Georgia, she said in a statement, everyone deserves the freedom to decide what's best for their families, futures and lives. Well, except the lives of unborn babies, apparently. And the mother did decide. She was keeping the baby. Well, over the weekend, there was an update. According to the New Zealand Herald, it screams, we should have had a choice. Family speaks on brain dead pregnancy case, which is the narrative and only narrative some people will see when they look on the New Zealand Herald website, the one the media wants you to think about. But then when you click on the link to the actual story, it's actually quite different, but still a false heading. Brain dead woman kept alive because of abortion laws gives birth in Georgia. And the article says a brain dead pregnant woman who was kept alive in the southern US state of Georgia because of a local abortion restrictions has given birth. Well, she wasn't kept alive because of that. That's a lie, fake news. The mother was then removed from life support. Adriana Smith captivated attention across the US, where access to abortion has changed radically since the Supreme Court in June 2022 overturned the federal right to terminate a pregnancy. 3 Democrat congresswomen are pushing for better protections of the rights of pregnant women, particularly black women, who are disproportionately impacted by systemic medical neglect and restrictive anti-abortion laws. Now, once again, absolutely no reference to what the black woman concerned, the mother, Adriana, who had not chosen an abortion, what her wishes might be. Now, a local Georgia news media had a report with an interview with the mother of Adriana. And it said Atlanta area nurse Adriana Smith gave birth to a son by cesarean section on Friday. After months on life support, her mother told the local news outlet, the baby, Chance, is in the ICU and weighs about 1 pound 13 ounces. He's fighting, but they expect him to make it through. She added the family planned to take Smith off life support on Tuesday. So that was Tuesday last week. And I want to show you just a couple of excerpts of this interview so it's the grandmother of the child, the mother of Adriana. Have a watch. Is this a family screaming for abortion, as the media would like you to believe?
That's some new information. We had a new addition to the family come just last week. Adriana's son was born.
Yes. Chance was born by emergency C-section on Friday about 4:41 a.m. And he's fighting. He's in the NIC unit. He's about 1 pound 13 ounces. And he's expected to be okay. He's just fighting.
Yeah.
We just want prayers for him. Just keep praying for him. He's here now.
That was sooner than we anticipated, so he is in the NICU, and y'all are really just hoping for the best for him. How are you feeling with as far as that's concerned? How about baby Chance?
I feel like he has a great chance to survive. Yeah, it's been a rough ride for him, and I think he's gonna be well.
That's good. I know a lot of people were concerned about how he might be.
Well, right now we don't know everything because it's so early, so they can't tell everything. But with prayer changes things, and we just hope and pray that he's okay.
Sounds very pro-life, doesn't it? We want prayers for him. Just keep praying for him. An interesting name, Chance. He was given a chance, no thanks to Democrat politicians, pro-abortion activists, and the legacy media. But have a listen to this bit, because you find out exactly what the real grief is for the family. And no, it's not about the right to abort their grandson, but it's actually about the lack of medical care for Adriana.
I know that this is a situation that has been very trying for you and your family. It's been going on for quite some time now. What would you like people to know?
I guess I would like people to know that I think all women should have a choice about their body. And I think I would want people to know that she was a nurse or RN. The same field that she worked in is the same people that failed her. Can you kind of understand what I'm saying? Like, they didn't go that extra mile. Not even the extra mile. They didn't even do a CT scan on her that would have detected it.
Yeah.
So I just feel like she's a nurse, and not even being a nurse, just she's a human being first. Everybody deserves health care. And I just feel like the ball was dropped.
Yeah, that clarifies a lot, doesn't it? The actual issue is with the lack of medical care that Adriana received. But then the clangor, the bit the mainstream media hoped you wouldn't hear.
Oh, she loved being a mother. She did. She really liked eating when she was pregnant, because I guess it's like, okay, I can eat whatever I want. I'm pregnant,
I got the green light.
Yeah. But she enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. She enjoyed it. She enjoyed her son Chase being there for him. Mm-hmm. Swimming, soccer, taekwondo, just involved in his life,
And she was excited for baby Chance.
She was. She really was.
She loved being a mother. She said, I'm pregnant, She was excited for baby Chance. She really was. Oops. I didn't hear anywhere in that statement, I really want an abortion. I really don't want this baby. And then just finally.
I shouldn't be burying my daughter. My daughter should bury me. So I'm just trying to hold it together right now.
For Chance and Chase.
For Chance and Chase. I wish he could smell his mother, just one time, If he could just smell his mom, lay on her chest, skin to skin. But that's not possible.
Wow, that is a ray of light in an absolute tragedy, isn't it? A new life, alive. Now, interestingly, according to the local media report, the sponsor of Georgia's Heartbeat Law, a Georgian Republican senator, applauded the hospital's decision to keep Smith on life support and characterised Smith's situation as an unusual circumstance, which it is, and said it was completely appropriate for the hospital to do whatever it could do to save the child's life. The hospital's actions only underscored the value of human life, he added. Well, that's absolutely correct. But this is a totally different narrative to what the media has tried to ram down on you. You cannot distrust the media and its culture of death enough. This is just another disgusting display of bias, ironically, from a mainstream media that itself is dying.